I know that you're going to answer this question. I know how you're going to answer it, but I would love to distill your thoughts for our listeners. I did a YouTube community survey on the channel a while ago, asking my audience, our listeners, if they believe humanity has been a net negative or a net positive in the world's history, like for the world. And it's funny. I'm going to give you an example why I think we've been a net positive. Just one silly example, just humor me. We created dogs. Dogs didn't exist, A pug or a husky didn't exist. So we created a new species. And I love that. I love dogs. I'm a dog person. But I know how you're going to answer, Doctor, but I would love to hear your thoughts. Provide me some, for our listeners, just like concrete examples on how we've been a net positive for the world.
Well, I think, first of all, what is the purpose of the earth? Mm-hmm. And if you take the view, I take the view that the purpose of the earth is to provide a place for human flourishing. It's really, the purpose here is to, a place for humans to flourish. And if you use that as the definition of the purpose of the earth, then how have humans flourished over the last 200 years? We hit 1 billion people in 1800, and now there's 8 billion people. So we have 8 times more people. So that's got to be an indicator that we've been able to figure out how to create enough wealth and health that we have 8 times more people today. In 1800, the average life expectancy was under 30 years. And today it's 74. So we've added, 30 to 74, another 44 years of life expectancy to everybody's life. So we have 8 times more people, and they're all living 40 plus years longer. And then the GDP per capita, I know that's a measurement that economists use, but it's just a rough indication of what's your life like. And in 1800, people were earning about $2 a day. Is what average person is $2 a day. And today it's $35 a day. That's adjusted for inflation. So if you look at those 3 measures, how many people, how long do they live, and what kind of income do they have to be able to enjoy their lives with? And that doesn't account for the things that we buy today are much different than the choices we had in 1800. If I said, I'll give you $1 billion, Alex, but you got to go back and live in 1800, I think you'd be much happier to say, no, I'm staying here. Mm-hmm. I'm much happier here. So from those 3 criteria, I think you've got to say, look, human beings have really made this planet a place where humans can flourish. And then it's how much time do you actually have to do what you like to do in your life today? One of the things that we really kind of focus in on is not only the time price of things, but we're kind of obsessed with this comparing people on their incomes. In this discussion about income equality, social justice says we've got to reduce this income gap, and it's like, well, you can talk about that, but really, what's more important in my mind is the time gap, and we all get 24 hours a day. We have this perfect equality of time. So the question is, what do you get to spend your 24 hours doing today versus what your grandparents got to spend their time doing, in their 24 hours? And then you can also compare it across the world and say, is your life, think about what Elon Musk did today with his 24 hours and what we're getting to do. It's like, we have pretty good 24 hours. We're not hungry. We're pretty happy. We're not too cold. We're not too hot. We have friends. We have things that we can do that entertain us. We have books that we can read. Our life is really not that much different than Elon's life. I mean, in fact, I think in many cases our lives are better. I mean, if he wants to go to a movie tonight, he's probably not going to be able to go to a movie tonight, right? But you and I can do those kinds of things. So being able to look at what we get to do with our time every day, it's like there's never been a better time to be alive for more people on the planet that have this time to go learn, to engage in leisure, to rest, to travel. All of those things are part of what we enjoy today that 200 years ago would have just been inconceivable for most people to think that that's, if you took somebody once again from 1800, you brought them and set them down here today, they would think that they were on a different planet. They would think none of this can be real. So that perspective, I think, is really important to be able to stand back and look at, the longer you broaden your perspective, the more grateful I think you have to be of what we've been able to accomplish. And does that mean there's not more to do? Absolutely, there's more to do. There's still people on the planet that live in very harsh conditions, but we're pulling millions of people out of poverty every day with our ability to create wealth, discover and share and create knowledge. And these people, if we continue to be patient, we'll be able to lift everybody out of poverty. Really, with medicines, giving them the life choices, free of disease, being able to have food, shelter, education, choices. This potential today is just like we've never had before.